friends here, people.
Hello everybody and welcome to the 2019 Gaiscioch Community Conference. I am your host today, Foglata, and I look forward to taking you on a little journey through some of the cool things that we're doing. If you did not know, the Gaiscioch was formed in 2001 as a social gaming community designed to be a home for those that don't have a home, as in the people that couldn't play enough. So, there's something really close to heart that I wanted to share with you all about something that we're working on up next. So, let me just go ahead and brief you with that. That's right, folks. We have officially launched a World of Warcraft Classic. We are on the old Blanchy server. If anyone is interested, we play on the Alliance side. We have a little over 300 people now. So, yeah, it's quite the little party. In any case, I will cover that a little bit later. But first, I kind of want to walk you through a little bit about who Gaiscioch is and what we do. Gaiscioch is taken from an old Irish legend of the Tuatha De Danann. It's when they first arrived on Irish soil, they ran across the Fir Bolg. When they met the Fir Bolg were not as strong and powerful as the Tuatha. Their weapons were much weaker, and the Tuatha decided that it wouldn't be right to fight the Fir Bolg. So they went and they offered their weapons and their training so that the Fir Bolg could give them a fair fight for Ireland. And they offered for peace, but the Fir Bolg declined. And long story short, the Tuatha won. They ended up giving the Fir Bolg half the land anyways, and they all became friends in the end. So it's a very good tale. If you ever want to hear the long version, please come see me. I'll be happy to share it with you. It does take a while. It is quite the long tale. We started in 2001 as a social gaming community based on these legends and traditions of the old Celtic ways. I really kind of was invested in the Irish mythology with having my family come from Ireland and everything. It was really close to heart, so I decided that Dark Age of Camelot would be a perfect avenue for this. So I launched this here community in Dark Age of Camelot, told stories there for a few years. It was a good fun time. We practice kindness, compassion, fellowship, honor, respect, loyalty, benevolence, and integrity. These are all values that we hold very close to heart. We stand against persecution and an unjust treatment of others and welcome all with open arms. We publish a Gaiscioch magazine for all gamers and developers to enjoy and host live streams daily. We are committed toward bringing games and sneak previews, guides, and information about all the favorite games and all the shinies. Tons and tons and tons of content, lots of interviews, good times. We also are very heavily involved in charities. We do our annual Extra Life event that we just wrapped up here. We still are taking donations. If you go to gsch.info/for-the-kids-donate, you can still donate to that through the end of November. We did quite an amazing turnaround this month. We started with about $350 at the start of the weekend and ended with $4,509, and it's still climbing. So, yeah, kudos to you guys. That was pretty amazing. We also do a month in October when we turn ourselves pink. Some of you joined us this year and noticed all of a sudden our guild was pink, and you're like, what the heck? And yeah, that's because October is Breast Cancer Awareness. We go pink for October, we go blue for March in honor of the colon cancer awareness. And yeah, so you could look forward to seeing our colors changed a couple times a year. In any case, we do have a very unique approach. For those of you just getting situated here, our entire membership is based off of Gaiscioch.com. It's not based off of a game. So if the game closes, the community still exists. We continue from one game to the next to the next. We span over many games. So pretty much, even if you wanted to turn a tabletop D&D game into part of our community, that is entirely possible. We don't care what game it is. We just want us to be together and have fun doing it. We do not require in-game membership. So if you wanted to register for our site and be a part of our community without even being a member of our in-game guild, that is entirely possible. We pretty much put the smile on your face above the guild tag above your head. That's the important part. Your community progression is permanent, so if you started leveling up in Guild Wars 2 and decided that you wanted to play ESO, all of your progression would come with you. That would go for years and years and years, and that is something that stays with you. You can take several years off, go away, play some things that aren't related to us, go off, travel the world, and come back years later and still resume right where you left off. And we also host open events available to everybody, regardless of what guild they're in or if they're part of a community or not. We keep our doors open and welcome everybody to join us. That is pretty much what we do. After all, the most epic loot in life is a healthy smile and a fond memory. We began in Dark Age of Camelot 2001 on the Mew back in Hibernia. We grew to about 250 people. Warhammer was our second chapter after the Dark Age of Gaiscioch period. I went through some life-changing things between Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 that really kind of stripped our entire guild down to nothing, and we rebuilt it from the ground up with the help of Spence, Nona, Jeff, Juliana, my wife, and Donna Liam. They all pretty much pulled me together and said, hey, let's go do this Warhammer Online thing. And I'm like, sure, why not? Let's do it. So 2008, we launched in Warhammer Online. We grew to over 750 players in Warhammer. That was an amazing, amazing time. We then, after Warhammer decided to kill itself, we went over to Rift. Met Scott Hartzman early on. He pulled us into some alpha testing, and we had quite a good time over there. Eventually, we would launch into there and grow to over 2,500 active players. That was a crazy time in our history that I honestly don't really want to revisit. It was way too much work, but it was a lot of fun. It was totally worth it. We met a whole lot of cool people, and it was a very enjoyable time. But like all games, eventually the developers have their way with it and things go downhill. We then launched into Guild Wars 2 in 2012. We were pushed there by Roger Old War Raw, who was a major driving force behind us moving there. Once we finally got our alpha invites, it came a little too late. Roger unfortunately passed away just weeks before we received those alpha invites. We decided to dedicate our entire Guild Wars 2 chapter to Roger Old War Raw and launch theirs. In fact, the ArenaNet team decided to name a server after him. So we call Sanctum of Raw home. It's named after Roger Old War Raw, and we will be there until they take it away from us. Even if they did take it away from us, there's still an NPC in Black Citadel you can go visit, the historian Gaiscioch, that will tell you of Roger Old War Raw and his wonderful deeds. In 2014, we launched into Elder Scrolls Online, both PC and Mac version. Sorry, no PS4, Xbox Community. I really wish that game would go crossplay. That would open up so many doors for us. We do have a small tight-knit community over there that's focused on Dungeons and Trials. We did kick off our first season of Chronicles of Tamriel in 2018. Haven't scheduled a new one due to lack of interest. Carl had something to say about that. World of Warcraft Classic just launched 2019, just 2 months ago. We launched on Old Blanchy, and we are on the Alliance faction. We grew to over 300 people in the first 2 months. It was founded in honor of Sandy, known as Starkly, who passed away this past month. She was a major driving force towards World of Warcraft Classic. She had been trying to get me to go there since Dark Age Camelot, and I kept saying, no, it doesn't fit our community, it doesn't fit our community. And now that our focus has changed from PvP to PvE, it definitely does fit our community now. So we decided to give it a try, and look what happened. We have a few other activities that we're involved in. We have our social meetups, meet all over the place, PAX East, PAX West, EGX Res, Gamescom. There's parties going on everywhere. If you like going to gaming conferences, this is a very good community to be a part of. We like to have meetups wherever we can get a bunch of you guys together. We do an annual thing over in Portland around Christmas time, get all the locals together. We can schedule parties wherever you are. If we got enough people there that want to do it, more than happy to do so. We do have our Gaiscioch magazine, which launched in 2014, has over 1.4 million reads. I actually need to update that number. This morning I pulled the number and it was 1.5 million reads. Yeah, we got a lot of reads. Over 600 articles written. It also is the engine that all of our public community events run on, so all of our charity events, all of our Great Terran Adventure, Chronicles of Tamriel, Talara Saga, all of those run off that same engine. And we've also gotten media credentials that allow us access to any of the gaming conferences, and we can get advanced assets for games that haven't even been announced yet. We are part of that whole press circuit now, which is really cool. Live streaming, this year we passed 1,000 followers on Twitch. We have a 7-day-a-week schedule, and we are streaming on Twitch for the most part. We occasionally do stream to YouTube and Steam just for funsies. Charity, we have raised over $45,000 over 9 years of support for the Children's Miracle Network. That is a huge chunk of change, and I am so proud of you guys for making that happen. We donated over 600 stuffed animals to displaced children's charities. We support breast cancer awareness every October and colon cancer awareness every March. We do have a flag football team. Yeah, how many guilds you know have a flag football team? Yes, we do. We've been running it since this community began. In 2001, a few of us original members decided to start a flag football team. And we took it from 2001 to 2003 in San Jose, California. Later I moved to Eugene, Oregon, where I ran it for 2 years there. And then I eventually came up to Portland, where I've been running it ever since. We have won 8 league championships, 1 regional tournament, and we field 2 competitive flag football teams in Portland, Oregon today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the year in review. This year we lost 2 members, both Nona and Sonia. passed away, unfortunately, and that was kind of really hard time for our community. We had so many fond memories of both of these women that have been really kind of driving forces of our community. So yeah, rough year, but we made it through, and they will live on through us. Again, we raised $4,504 for the Children's Miracle Network. I pulled that number as of this morning. It's still going up, so probably tomorrow it'll be a little different. We created a quick claim system for claiming participation. Now you just take the 6-digit code that your event leader gives you, plug it in the website, and does all the work for you. We added an organized at-a-glance rank progression box to the homepage so you know exactly what you need for your next rank. We revamped the About Us section for easier browsing. It was starting to get a little messy, so we decided to clean it up a bit, make it a little easier to navigate. We updated the newsletter system that will deliver your newsletters on Gaiscioch.com in addition to email. A lot of different providers were starting to block us, and instead of having people not get the newsletter, we figured we might as well give it to everybody in their Gaiscioch mail box up there on the top of the site. We assisted in testing of Estelia, Rune 2, Legion, The Eternal War, New World, Crowfall, Camelot Unchained, Legends of Aria, Torchlight Frontiers, Pagan Online, and Conqueror's Blade. I'm quite certain I missed a few, but those were the ones I thought off the top of my head. We launched our World of Warcraft Classic. Within 1 month of us trying this idea, we had 200 players in the community. Within 2 months, we had 300. That was pretty dead giveaway that this is definitely going to be a chapter-worthy thing. With Nona's passing, we decided, you know what, Nona put 15 years into trying to get us here. We might as well make this in honor of Nona, and decided to launch it as an honorary chapter, which pretty much skips the entire scorecard that we usually run chapters through, just so that we can get this up there and have a way to remember Nona. We have 18 players that have made it to level 60. 46 have surpassed level 50. We will be raiding and doing world bosses very, very soon, so stay tuned for those popping up on the calendar. Guild Wars 2 had quite the year. We received a new saga concept that is set to replace the current living story and expansion system. They're trying to produce continuous content improvements as part of a service rather than trying to release them with expansion packs that gate their users. Job listings have popped up at the ArenaNet site that hint at console development, so that should be interesting. Not sure what they're doing with that, but yeah, they are hiring some console development folk. Strike missions were added and provide us a great little gateway to raiding. Layoffs unfortunately hit ArenaNet, and several key staff members said see ya, and that led to a little lower population than we're used to. It definitely puts a question mark on the future, and we're really interested to see where the saga idea comes and what happens there. Hopefully it's a good thing. We really hope that it's not going to become a let's throw it on maintenance mode kind of thing. Alright, Elsewhere was the latest expansion to launch over in the Elder Scrolls Online universe, and with it came the Seasons of the Dragon. We now have all 4 of the Seasons of the Dragon DLCs available, and if you haven't checked out the latest one, it is well worth the pickup. It's a lot of fun. We roamed around it during our Extra Life event, and it was tons of fun. Lots more dragons, lots of little caves to explore. Didn't really see any new dungeons or anything of that line, but it was a very beautiful landscape there. Highly recommend it. Our community continues to show strong interest in Trials and Undaunted Dungeons. Those are pretty much the most claimed activities that we have in our community. So if you are into those kind of things, definitely look up our ESO community. You can go to gsch.info/ESO to learn more. Conqueror's Blade is a new little gem that hit the wire this past year. We had testing opportunities a couple years ago and really kind of fell in love with it. A few of us have been playing it pretty religiously over there on the the house Gaiscioch side. We currently are in two different houses, both united by an alliance called the Westweg Alliance. We own a fief called Westweg, surprisingly enough. And we had to do this because in true Gaiscioch fashion, we filled up way too fast and became very popular way too fast. We currently have a 40 plus person waitlist for House Tuatha. So if you wanted to join us in Conqueror's Blade, put in a request for Gaiscioch. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting a few weeks before you can get in. We were also featured as the House of the Week just last week, and we've been in Westweg for the past 2 months. We're one of the only fiefs in all of the game that has not changed hands. That is mainly because we become friendly with everybody. Our house's mission is basically to help train people and get them excited about playing the game. When they decide that they want to go on and fight in the territory wars on a more higher level, we ship them off to other houses and let them go play over there. They're always welcome back in Westweg to join our events and participate in our stuff, but we want to make sure that everybody is happy. That is the key, is keeping people happy. We are also one of My.com's featured content creators, so we get advanced opportunities to show off a lot of cool things. So if you are into Conqueror's Blade, definitely follow the channel. I cannot stress it enough, Conqueror's Blade is not a PvP only game. There is an entire PvP half of the game that is entirely playable without any PvP at all. It's a lot of fun. You should come join us. I'll show you around, I'll teach you some tricks, and you get a little one-on-one time with me. So feel free to come on out. We do Monday night training missions, 6 p.m. Pacific. Feel free to come out. So this year, these are the current adventures that have really kind of captured the interest of our users. That's a lot of them. That's like all the different ones that people have been sparking interest about and getting involved in and doing things with. Our coming soon list has expanded to include Diablo 4, Legion the Eternal War, and Defend the Night. Those are 3 games that weren't there last year. Oh, Astaria as well. Can't forget about Astaria. If you haven't heard of those games, highly recommend checking them out. They are currently in development. It's going to be a while, but we'll be here when they come out. Our Gaiscioch magazine has more than 1.5 million article reads, celebrated 5 years of publishing this year. Featured on Flipboard and News 360, those are 2 big news distribution sites. And now we are pushing our articles to medium.com to try to get some additional exposure. We are looking for writers. If you like to write about games and you like getting free games, talking to developers, earning lore points, or getting published, we definitely are the team for you. We don't pay people because we don't make any money, and there are no ads on our entire site. So yeah, it's a volunteer thing, but it's well worth it. It's a good way to get some portfolio work done, get your foot in the door, meet some developers, have some fun doing it, play a lot of cool games before they're even released. You know, they use. And our competitive 5-man flag football is in Portland, Oregon. We currently have 2 teams running for this late fall season. It's going to be a lot of fun. Both Gaiscioch and Gaiscioch Dub are going to be rolling. I will keep you guys apprised of that. We threw 234 touchdowns this year. That's 4 seasons, 234 touchdowns. Our 2020 jerseys are available now on the Gaiscioch Armory, gsch.info/armory. They look like that bottom right one. It's our plate mail design. And just tomorrow, we're going to be playing for the championship. So, wish us luck. So let's go ahead and talk about year 18. What all happened in year 18? Well, our population, as you can see, actually rose. Over the course of the year, we gained quite a bit population. We were on a downward trend right up to the point that WoW Classic launched, and then you could see what happened. Yeah, that was quite remarkable. We took a pretty abrupt spike, gained almost 100 people in a single month, which was pretty nice to have. Here you can see the WoW spike. 171 people started playing, becoming active in WoW. That was just in the first month up to November 1st. Our adventures have basically conquered the Guild Wars 2 chapter. So we have more activity going on in the adventures now than we ever had before. Guild Wars 2 kind of has a bit of decline. I think that a lot of our users got a little worried when developers started jumping ship and layoffs started happening, and NCSoft declared that they were going to wipe ArenaNet off the map and turn it into NCSoft West. That is a little unsettling, and for a lot of our users that saw what happened with Rift and saw what happened with Warhammer when Mythic started getting their hands tied from EA, this was a little worrisome. So I think a lot of people are kind of nervous on that front, but I'm really hoping that they can pull it through. ESO is stable. I mean, it just kind of cruises right along, goes up and down, up and down, up and down. It's a really stable game. It doesn't really change a whole lot. We don't get a huge influx of new players. We don't lose a bunch of players. It's just pretty much a stable crew running trials and dungeons. On the social media front, we pretty much grew a little. That's pretty much what we do every year. We grow a little by little. But you know, when you've been around for 18 years, you just keep growing, right? It's all we can do. Our live streams have gone up in popularity over the past like 2 months, just probably because the Extra Life event and then this event. But overall, I'm really happy to say we finally broke that 1,000 mark. We were sitting there for a long time, just on the edge, and it was really good to finally pass that. We're not looking to make money on this streams. That's not what we do it for. We do it mainly so that we can show you what our community does, what we're involved in, kind of give you an inside look at the cool things that we're doing. Content preference. Now this is interesting. If you would have checked this back when we were in Warhammer, this table would have been flipped. In fact, it would have been way less than 13% were into PvE. Now, the majority is in PvE and the minority is in PvP. So it's quite the opposite of what it used to be. This can largely be attested to, you know, we're all getting older and a little slower. Our reflexes aren't as good, and the games require so much faster pace of fighting. That and, you know, with PvE, you can kind of be a little more relaxed at it. So I think that that's a major player into why our content preference has shifted. Rift definitely brought a whole lot of PvE blood in, and now it's looking like the perfect formula for WoW Classic. Once the battlegrounds come in, you know, at 13% will be appeased. You have the 86.6% with the PvE. Perfect situation. Age demographics. This is where our community vastly differs from most of the other communities out there. If you look, 10.5% are over 60. You have the 18.8% between 50 and 60, 29.7% 40 to 50, and 25.7% between 30 and 40. The under 30 population is less than 20%. So most other communities that you'll find have, you know, a big chunk of their people are under 30. And we're kind of the opposite. We're a bunch of old farts, and we like it that way. Gender demographics, we did see a decline in the female population, which is weird. We used to be at one point we were all the way up to 40% when we were in Rift. And now we're back down to 23.2%. You know, come on, ladies. Get your friends involved. Let's go. Show these boys how to play. Location demographics. We are in 33 different countries actively right now. So of our active membership, 33 different countries. We largely, United States. Our second highest is Canada. Right after that, we have Australia, United Kingdom, Brazil, Netherlands, and then Sweden. And then everywhere else. Playtime demographics, this is where it gets interesting. You'll see that the North America prime time between 3 and 9 p.m. Pacific continues to be our strongest for activities, with a slight rise in Oceanic prime time, which is between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. Pacific time. European midday between 3 and 6 a.m. is our weakest time frame for activity. So if you're looking for something to do between the 3 and 6 a.m. Pacific time, you know, try Netflix, because I don't think we're going to have it for you. So let's talk about the road ahead. There's a lot of cool things on the horizon. First, Our Eldership Council for 2020, we have changed it a little bit. Instead of having a ton of elders, most of which are just providing advice for things, we decided to create an advisory board. This is where all kind of more dormant elders will go. Anyone that used to serve as an elder that we no longer need in an active chapter, we try to keep one elder per 50 people in a chapter. So when populations thin out, we reduce the number of elders that we need, and they move to the active or the advisory board. Any of these guys can pop back up into an elder seat if we need them. For Guild Wars 2, we have Gma Fog, Old Goat, Jillabod, Dargrun, Kitty, and Micah. Elder Scrolls Online, Sir Henry Vale, Verve, and Kilted Piper. World of Warcraft, we have Varder, Tip, Tybor, Haggle, and Ismina. And then I float across all of them. Our advisory board is Donalium, Radiological, Chemical, Elena, Bree Seed, Selrina, Sea Coral, Screenager, Smitty, Terrafer, Ian, Rylissa, Prissy, Soren, and Reinar. Now, right now, we consider what we are up to as the bridge. Our goal is to preserve the community's health. We will focus on our 3 chapters and new adventures. We will aim to keep population of each chapter above 150 people, hopefully around the 200 mark, if not the 300 mark. Adventures will come and go and play an important role in our discovery of new chapters. As we did with WoW, we launched an adventure and saw how it stuck. If it stuck well, we decided we can move it up to a full-on chapter. If it doesn't really play out like Stelia did, then we know that's not really going to be a good chapter. Or Bless Online is another example. We had a huge boom the first month that it was out, and then a month later, it was gone. So, we really kind of want to watch those adventures and see if they're going to have the lasting power. We're looking at least 2 years till another viable chapter arrives. I know that Camelot Unchained and Ashes of Creation are like, oh yeah, we're going to release next year, next year. It's been 8 years, man. Next year was 8 years ago. So, yeah, I don't know. We're continuing to wait for those games that we've fallen in love with and are just waiting to come out. But I'm really hoping that those games come out before I'm geriatric. I'm just saying. So, to help foster new leaders in hosting events, I'll be holding a few event leader meetings on a regular basis. The first one is going to be a raiding meeting next weekend, and I look forward to seeing you. If you're interested in leading raids or attending raids, I highly recommend going to that. That's for everything. So, you have ESO, World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2. If you like raiding in any of those, come on down. We're going to be holding an event next Saturday at, I think, 2 p.m. is when I have it on the calendar. So our top prospects right now. Number 1 would be Middle-earth Online. That is being built by a very stellar team over at Amazon. They're throwing a whole lot of money at it, and by the manpower that they've been recruiting for the last 10 years, I would not doubt if that is going to be the MMO of MMOs. What I've seen with them and New World is they are very good at writing code. New World functioned beautifully. I can't go into a whole lot about it, but it is a beautiful game and it functions really well, and everything feels really smooth in that game. If they're giving the same love to Middle-earth Online, we're looking at quite a remarkable game. Ashes of Creation is still on our, top of our charts as the MMO people would like to try, but it is going to be at least 2021 before that game ever sees the light of day. Who knows how long it's going to be. Magic the Gathering has been really quiet. They did release some traction, some new job postings about Magic the Gathering, the MMO. That is being produced by the same people that made Neverwinter, so we'll see how well that comes to play. Pantheon Rise of the Fallen just recently released a new engine video showing off some of the new terrain and the cool things that they're doing over there. That is a straight PvE game taking you back to the EverQuest days. They put a lot of focus in group play. That should be released sometime in 2020 or 2021. Chronicles of Elyria, 2021 or higher. I highly doubt that it's actually going to launch next year. I know they think that it will, but from what I've seen of it, I don't think it will. I think it's going to be 2021, 2022 timeframe. Ascent Infinite Realm finally went into the beta over in the East. it should be coming over to the West. I'm hoping that that will come here soon. But it's a gorgeous game. Looks like a lot of fun. But I don't know when we're going to get our hands on it. So hopefully sometime in 2020, 2021, we'll actually see a beta announcement for the West. And we can actually see if it's going to be what I hope it's going to be. There's a new game called Past Fate. That'll probably be 2023. That I highly recommend you guys look them up on Twitter. Look them up on the interwebs. And check them out. It's a new little MMO. Little indie studio, but it has some really cool things about it. Legion Eternal War, we've been invested into the pre-alphas with these guys. They are part of our Discord. We joined their Discord. We highly participate in all of their tests that they've been doing. It's a pretty cool game that we're heavily involved in. Defend the Knight's another one to take a look at if you haven't looked it up yet. 2022. And then just a couple weeks ago, Riot announced that they're making an MMORPG. If you don't know Riot, League of Legends. Yeah, enough said. They are probably one of the biggest developers out there, and if they're making an MMO, we're definitely going to be watching. So our role in this universe is creating fun and memorable adventures for all to enjoy, assisting new players in learning about the game through events and writing informative guides. We welcome new players through welcome kits and mentorship. We become an active role in protecting the well-being of a server and game community. This means that we get heavily involved in server forums and trying to help create an energy on a server that is a beneficial energy towards the server, where we pour goodness out into the world, and we help people, and we go out of our way to do kind things to people, hoping that it sticks with them and they can then extend it. One example, I was giving away bags in Goldshire the other day, and then I switched to my other character, and then the same person I gave a bag to came over to my other character and tried to give his old bags to that character. Like, literally, it was within 5 minutes of each other. That same person that I gave bags to was trying to give their other bags to somebody else to kind of pass it forward. And I thought that that was really cool to see. And that's the kind of thing that we try to do in the world. We try to cause people to act out of kindness. And as Kitty likes to remind me, we want to be the players we'd like to meet. That is something I said a long time ago, and I think Damo said it as well, and it definitely stuck and resonates in this community. So how can you help? This is a big one. All of you Gaiscioch out there could really help us out here. And I look to you guys to be the voice of our community. If you're wearing a Gaiscioch tag, do something nice to people. That's all I can say is be kind, be benevolent, look out for the other guy. Get involved in public discords, forums, websites, and be kind and helpful with the Gaiscioch name attached. Don't be toxic. Whatever you do, please don't be toxic. I don't like kicking people out, but I will if you're toxic. It's just, we can't have that here. If you're up for it, lend a half an hour a week to helping out new players in the games that you play. Doesn't matter what you're doing. If you want to just help some random person complete a quest or do a dungeon, just take a half an hour and be seen helping the community. This goes a long way into creating that public image that we are a kind, benevolent community out there and not just some overbearing Zerg guild. Be vocal in guild chat. This is a big one, guys. I cannot stress it enough. It is very, very hard to be invested in a community when nobody talks to each other. The whole idea of a community is so that we can meet each other and be, a community that gets involved with each other, and nobody talks, nothing happens. Take a moment to say hello to people when they sign on, offer assistance, host events, be active in guild chat. That's the best thing I can offer you. It would definitely go a long way to preserving the community's health and continuing the growth. Be welcoming to new members and go out of your way to help them get situated within our family. If you don't remember, joining the Gaiscioch community is kind of like trying to chug from a fire hose. It's a lot to take in at first. So please be that shining light that comes in and helps those new players get situated and gets both feet planted and finally can realize how cool the things are that we're involved in and what we do. And then lastly, keep your events open to the public. The more that you expose us to the public and show our traditions to the outside world, the more people will want to be involved. So our Year 19 goals: maintain an active population of between 500 and 700 players across our entire community. We're bringing in 200 to 300 new players over the course of the year. We want to grow in social media to allow us greater access to a wider audience. Social media is really big right now and is growing rapidly. We want to make sure that we're all the places that people will see. Continue participating in testing and providing support for upcoming MMO development. This is something that we've done for a long time and want to continue doing. New features for 2019. The marketplace system is currently on my rack getting rebuilt. I am changing it away from placing orders and taking orders to basically being a system where you can create a quest and people will go fulfill that quest. And kind of just changing the way that we terminology it. It's going to be a lot of fun though. You'll be able to take out quests and requisitions to be able to fill different things and find different things. And we're even adding a trading post. So like if you find a rare sword or something like that that you want to put up there and you have it in your vault and you want to give it to somebody that will use it, you can stick it up on the trading post and people can request that item from you. The other thing is the adventure system within the leadership system is going to be retired. It's confusing people between adventures in the leadership system and adventures as in the social adventures that we do on the side. And we're going to be rolling all those guys over into the conquest system, so all the dungeon bosses and dungeon clear objectives will all move over there. So you'll have all that stuff to claim there. So coming 2020.
The end times have arrived. Ages of darkness. Fire. Demons. Giants. Madness prevails. And what would a warrior do? He will take up arms and defend his lands, forge his blades and build his home, unite with his brothers while they destroy their enemies and laugh at death. He will, above all else, save his family and his God. From darkness, light. Room 2.
War is raging in Persia. Enter the chaos of battle and face powerful enemies. Choose one of 5 heroes. Dominate the battlefield with their beautiful spell swords, ice spells, and lightning bolts. Crush your opponents with the ungodly strength of the Berserker. Combine the gunslinger's lethal ranged strikes with his merciless melee skills. Harness the power of nature as the ranger and fight with deadly daggers and a swift bow. Or use the elementalist's magical abilities to lead your allies to victory. Demonstrate your strategic skill in battle. Command up to 3 units and support your hero with loyal troops. Command scorpions and hordes of monsters. Coordinate your war machines, foot soldiers and cavalry. Lead your battle-hardened army into epic battles. fight side by side with fearless allies and become the hero that this war needs. Confront legendary threats and experience the thrilling hybrid of MMO and masterful RTS. Become the war god who decides the fate of Berger.
The dream continues to haunt me, old friend. It always starts with a journey to a distant land. There I find a city in flames, streets choked with corpses, unthinkable destruction. I witness senseless slaughter, brother against brother, pure hatred. And then, executions, agony, suffering surrounded me until my turn comes. They burn my eyes, break my bones. I awaken in terror. There's no one left to stand against them. of the future. Hell is coming, brother. Hell is coming.
Alright, everybody, it is time for our Ask Me Anything with myself, Aglada. Feel free to join us on Discord over at the discord.gg/r capital Q T capital F E capital S 9. That will jump you into our channel. I will open it up for questions. If you want to ask them there, you can. If you want to ask them in Twitch, I'll be happy to answer them there. For those of you in Discord, you might want to mute Twitch. Alright, do we have any questions at this time? So each of those games that you saw in the community trailer there just a few moments ago, those will all be adventures. So we'll have a Last Epoch adventure, we'll have a Wilson adventure, we'll have a Diablo 4 adventure, no doubt. The cool thing with Diablo 4 is it's going to have a full guild system involved. So we will be able to form a guild in Diablo 4 for the first time in a Diablo game, and it'll probably also use the groups, so that we'll be able to communicate between our WoW Classic chapter and our Diablo 4 community. So that should be a lot of fun. Wolvane asks if there were going to be any events for Wilson or Last Epoch. You're welcome to schedule them, Wolvane. Get them up on our calendar and see who shows up. My time card is kind of booked right now. I've got to have enough time for family too. And I'm running currently, I think, 6 events a week, and on top of my 7 days a week live streaming. So that's kind of rough, especially on the family life. So I don't really have time in my slot to put another event. So if you want to host something, go for it.
There's a couple of questions in Twitch.
If you want to communicate with other gamers in Gaiscioch, go to our Discord channel. You can also go to gaiscioch.com or gsch.info. We have general chats. Once you get into our Discord, there is a channel called Access Channel Settings. You can go in there and click on the various icons to unlock various channels. We have over 300 channels in Discord, and they are mostly hidden by those little roles. So you self-set your roles and unlock channels.
And someone asked, how can you move up in ranks?
Moving up the ranks takes claiming participation. You can't move anywhere without claiming participation. So, well, you can technically, because you can link your Twitch account to your Gaiscioch.com account, and by doing so, by watching live streams, you'll gain social points. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is by participating in events. When people host an event where you go do a dungeon run and whatever you're playing, they will usually post it up on the site. You can use the code that they give to claim participation. By claiming participation, you will start advancing ranks. Eventually, you'll hit Lord Gear, where you can start leading events if you want to, and then you can be the guy posting for others to claim participation. Mainly, Gaiscioch.com will walk you through it. It literally will send you mails, it'll send you notices, it'll have little pop-ups for you so that you know exactly what you need to do next. You can always reach me up in Discord. I'm the very first name on the top right of the member list. Feel free to PM me anytime. Happy to walk through all that with you if you want one-on-one, step-by-step. Doc Restless, feel free to ask. Will adventures ever offer the ability to gain participation to gain in ranks or remain as a sub badge earning? They've always had the ability to gain ranks. You can go all the way through veteran members by playing nothing but adventures. That has always been a thing. You earn social points in adventures, claiming participation in those. It doesn't matter who leads, who follows in a social adventure. You can post the event. The more people that claim it, the more it's worth. And yeah, you can go, I think first 6 ranks in the family can be through adventures only. It's not until you get to the Guardian level that you need to start being a part of a chapter. If you want to do an article, Wolfane asks about that. Come see me anytime. You can go to one of the magazine meetings. We have them pretty much every other month. We'll run a magazine meeting. And if you really need a step-by-step, Gma Fog or Jillabod or Bree can walk you through it. They are pretty much our primary editors. Jerome is also there if you go on off hours. He is kind of a opposite shift of everybody else. So yeah, if you see him around, you can ask him. He can help you with that. Whoever ran BRD with you would have been the one posting the event. Whoever organized it should be the one going into the leadership system and claiming the leadership on it, and then they basically can post that code to you. It's only going to work for 24 hours after the event's posted. Otherwise, you got to do it the old-fashioned way, where you go to the website, go to recent events, click on the event that you attended, and then claim it on the event page itself. I haven't seen any more questions on Twitch. Discord general chat seems pretty quiet as well. Anyone else have any questions? Feel free to throw whatever's on your mind at me, guys. Only bad question is the one not asked. Go for it, Kitty.
Should I type or
Yeah, talk.
Oh dear. Um, so every now and then I see people asking, how do I get person to play X game or that other game or Looty Shooty Sparkle Princess 2? And I ask myself, and I'm going to ask you, what is the best way to herd the cats to organize and say, hey, who wants to play Archage Unchained or Dauntless or Deep Rock Galactic? So, what is the best way, the most effective method to get people's attention and say, yes, I want to play Deep Rock Sparkly Dwarf Princess with Kitty? Yay!
We have a few different ways. One is the adventure system was built for this very thing. You can pretty much any game that's been added as a cooperative or multiplayer game on the Gaiscioch magazine site can be created as an adventure. You can do anything from Call of Duty to D&D to dwarf shooty princess game, and yeah, you can create an adventure based off that, and then you can post in there about I want to play this, and you can go into our Discord and we have an adventure chat thing. You're welcome to hit up the adventure chat and say, hey, anyone interested in playing this, and you can you can mention people there. Once it has a few people following and claiming participation, I will turn it into a channel on Discord and allow you guys to have your own private discussions. It just takes a few people, doing that, and showing that I'm not going to waste my time creating this whole system for you that's going to only last a week, and then you're going to lose interest and go to another shiny. Which is a very, very true thing that happens a lot with gamers today, is that they get really excited about a game and they want to play it nonstop for a week, and then you're like, okay, fine, I'll host an event for you, I'm going to get this channel for you, I'm going to get this big system for you, and then by week 2, nobody's there. And it's like, what happened? So, yeah, it's kind of it's really takes a lot of dedication and saying, hey, I want to play this. I'm going to be playing this every Saturday, and if you want to join me, great. If not, sorry, I'm going to continue playing it anyways, and I'm going to just be marching to my own drummer, and that's kind of how I rolled with Conqueror's Blade, and it's actually turned out really well. Conqueror's Blade is my own drummer. I really enjoy that game. I played a lot for myself. And I've found that a lot of members have decided to play it with me, and that's always a lot of fun. It just takes commitment and sticking to it and saying, hey, on this day of the week, I'm going to be doing this. And people will come. You just got to give them a chance. Do we encourage live streaming? Yes, we do. If you want to get involved, we have our own team on Twitch. Highly recommend it. We will get you set up. We can get you on our list, so that way when we auto-share or auto-host things, it'll automatically go to any of our members. We do not require you to share profits with us. What you do on Twitch is your business. We do not want any of that. So we're not here to make money. We're here to have fun, and we're here to entertain. That is what Gaiscioch is through and through. The region locks, Kitty, you can get around with a VPN. We have confirmed that we have several of our South American players playing with us, including Haggle was playing with us quite regularly. We have several others from South America that are playing with us.
Someone did ask, I'm sorry, when our next meetup location was. It was a while back. It got scrolled up a little.
I'm looking to put together a meetup in Portland, Oregon around the holidays between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Trying to find a weekend that will work, and we're going to meet up at a pizza parlor here and have a little white elephant gift exchange and, share some time together. It's a nice family-friendly environment. It has an entire playland, pretty awesome playland, in fact. I wish I was a kid again. But, yeah. So I will post it up on the site. It'll be one of the big centerpiece things. Regarding meeting up on the East Coast, I can't really organize anything like that right now. I don't really have many opportunities to get to the East Coast. I have been removed from the lineup of people that get to go every year to our East Coast conference, so my Atlanta trip is no longer there. So I won't be able to schedule and host anything in the future for Atlanta, at least not for the foreseeable future. So don't know. I would love to visit the Midwest. Sooner or later, I would love to just rent an RV and go coast to coast and just go see all of y'all. But I'm not old enough for that yet, I don't think. They don't let me have those kind of licenses. In Europe, I definitely want to go to Europe. I am, hopefully, if things stars align, I may make an appearance at Gamescom next year. And if I do, I'm hoping that I can schedule a little rally out there in Europe and get all the European friends together.
I have a question on the mentorship.
Sure.
Is it actually set up as an active where you select someone to be your mentor, or do you need to be signed, or is there anything set up? Because I was trying to find a way, if there was a way to add somebody as a mentor, or look for someone to mentor you.
Mentorship is pretty much our guardians on up have the ability to become a mentor. There's no real reward for it, just because we didn't want people doing it for reasons that weren't the kindness of their heart. We want people to, do it because they want to do it, not because they feel that they can get ahead in the community because of it. So basically, anybody at Guardian rank can become a mentor, and they can grab somebody and say, "Hey, would you like me to mentor you?" Now, mentorship is not in-game mentorship. That's often the misconception is that they're going to help you in-game. That's not the case. It's basically there to make sure that you don't get stuck in the community. And I mean, my mentor list, I have about 170 people on my mentor list, where I go through pretty much each week and make sure that nobody's getting stuck. But there's always room for more mentors. I mean, especially with the WoW Classic launch. If anyone wants to take that up, I highly recommend it. It takes a few hours a week, just kind of going through and looking to see if there's any red numbers, and then you just write them a mail and say, "Hey, this is what's holding you up," and then you can contact them through Discord. You can contact them through the website. It's fairly simple, and it basically tells you what needs to be done. That in the website itself will actually send you notices when certain things are hanging you up, to try to keep you from getting stuck.
Thank you.
Alright, I saw some other questions here. Nope, no captain rank. All our ranks are based out of Ireland and are in Irish. Doc, anybody that's under the rank of Sager is able to be mentored. Once they hit Sager, they graduate from the mentor program. By that time, we know that they know how to claim participation, and they know about credos, and they know about earning contribution points and stuff like that. I would love to travel all over the world and visit all of you guys, but simply put, I don't make enough for that. I haven't even met my mother-in-law, who's in Slovakia, yet, because I can't afford sending me and my wife. It could either be one or the other, but not both. So hopefully that'll change someday, but as it stands right now, I just don't have the money for it. Alright, any other questions? Yeah, we do, we actually Skype a lot with her mom, so that's the best way I can do it. Alright, I'm not seeing any more questions popping up. You guys got any last questions? Anyone? What's my favorite food, Fog? Oh, I guess pizza would have to be my favorite food. Pizza is definitely something I eat every day. Yeah, you heard it. I look like this and I eat pizza every day. Yep, it's true. Other than that, I really like lasagna. It doesn't like me back, but I like lasagna a lot, and I like steaks. I am pretty much 100% gluten. Free gluten is my favorite. Yes, free gluten. And yeah, carnivore. Very much carnivore. Save the trees. And pretty much Kitty makes me hungry every day, chatting with her in chat. If you're interested in food, we need to start a food blog with Kitty. We really do. Will there be any more events for Extra Life? Every year. We've done 9 straight years of holding Extra Life events, and we'll be continuing to do that for years to come. That'll be a regular staple in our fall schedule. Hopefully they don't all line up right between, you know, the end of the year broadcast like this and the Extra Life event. Back to back was really hard, but yeah, we will be doing that again. The Extra Life event, people don't realize how much work I put into that every year. I mean, we're talking hundreds of hours every year into that event. It's not something I just plug and play and go for. It's really something that I build and market and really kind of nurture the prizes, build contacts, you know, and then doing all of this stuff to make the website work with the things. And it's a long project, so doing multiples of those every year is not going to be easy. Not really. It's pretty much all on me, Wolverine. Nobody has access to our servers. Nobody can really do that coding for me. It's pretty much locked down to my individual MAC address. Alright, looks like about it. I will let you go. We are creeping up on that hour and 45-minute mark and really want to let you guys go. So you can always reach out and contact us. Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Discord, Flipboard, Medium, Steam, Blizzard, or Patreon. All of those, we are there. Kitty, what question? Ask fast. Okay. Well then, Slungavoil. I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to seeing you guys again soon.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Fog.
you.